that's a tough ask. But her goal is to travel with us on the remaining road trips.
Maria?
Coach, obviously a team came off a tough week, but back home now, 2 games at home. Just where's the team at right now in terms of maybe the relief of being home and then ready to close out this SEC season?
Yeah, I think we're going to find out. They've been good in practice. We've seen them a lot in the last couple of days, just checking in on them, spending time with them, watching film. So we've had a lot of touches, but when the game begins, we're going to find out where we're at, because right now I think right now they're good. Practice has been good. They've practiced hard. I think they're saying the right things, but you got to go out and execute.
Go ahead, Cora.
I wanted to ask that about Tamari. When she had that injury against Kentucky, she didn't really have time to fully recover from that. Is that something that's been hindering her a little bit lately, or is it more of a mental hurdle right now?
I think we're probably looking more mental hurdle. She and I actually talked about that this week, but I don't think it's anything that's holding her back. So we've just got to get back in, get everybody back in a good place mentally, but also with some good practice habits, good rhythm in practice, good rhythm in games. We can get back to that.
Back to Maria.
Coach, you still obviously control your own destiny in the SEC. I mean, you're not scoreboard watching. I mean, out of curiosity, maybe there's always good games, but you still control your own destiny and what happens in this league. The team hasn't lost sight of that with the losses, have they?
Well, I think sometimes they need to be reminded, and we're trying to learn how to live in this space right now. This is so new and we don't like it. So our team we're trying to have a sense of urgency, but also not have a sense of panic, but because of where we're at. So we're still in right now. We're still in good shape. We just need to get back feeling good about what we're doing. And that's easier said than done. You don't just magically do that. You got to go out and lock in execution wise. You got to be tough. And, that's a lot easier said than done, especially when you're playing Mizzou because of how they play and how tough they are.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up. I mean, Missouri is the only team in the SEC to have beaten South Carolina. And just a quick look of them, they rebound the basketball, that they attack that glass. Just what are the challenges that Missouri is going to present Thursday?
Well, I think the challenges are the matchups for us defensively. We've got to get out behind the 3-point line and guard, and then they do a great job of spacing you out if you do get out there. And then offensively for us, they do a great job of taking away your strengths. They are very each game is different. They go in a defensive game plan per their opponent, and so we have to go in and be solid because they're gonna really try to take away any strengths that we have. And then they're just tough. I mean, they're just resilient. They're tough. They're motivated, and they're good.
Cora?
The other part of your front court with Alexis Dye is struggling a little bit as well recently. How do you kind of get your players back into that aggressive, confident mindset when both of them are kind of in a rough spot right now?
We're I think that's the $1 million question. How do you get them back where you need them to be? Nothing for them has changed in terms of what we're asking them to do. So we just got to get back to what we are good at and playing with that confidence. I do think it has to come in practice. I really do, and I think we've got to be able to step up and make plays in practice, carry that over to a game, And, I think like to see that resiliency and that toughness reappear. That may or may not equate to wins, but I think that's where we've got to get that back.
Have you seen that in practice, recently this week?
I thought our practice yesterday was good. It was very, it was short in terms of the length, but it was intense. It was aggressive, and I thought our players were more focused. And so I'm excited about taking the court today and really pushing them again today. Again, at this point, it's February. You can't practice long. The time is critical, but you've got to be really good while you're out there. And I'm excited about pushing them while they're out there today and seeing where we can get them.
Maria, then Karthik.
Coach, point guard to point guard, what's your message right now to Jordan Walker to kind of get her back on track? I know that was a tough stretch for her on that road, and y'all need her so much to do what she does well.
Yeah, the thing about her, she's always competitive. She was getting after it there in our games, and sometimes she honestly tries too hard. She's wanting so bad for this team to win and make plays that I think sometimes we lose our patience a little bit. And so I think for her, watching film, she's been in the gym a lot, just making sure that she's patient and she's settled and showing that composure, because I think her teammates are gonna get that from her.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. What do you feel like can be the biggest takeaway from the stretch where the team hasn't been playing well? You've dropped some few games here. What do you feel like can be the biggest positive takeaway, moving on for the rest of the season?
Well, it could be a lot, actually. I think part of I think some of our team was feeling some pressure with where we were ranked, or how we were doing and the expectations. So I think one takeaway is learning to live in that space. I think another takeaway can be just a reminder of how tough this league is and how tough you have to be every night out when you're playing. And I'd like to think that if we can come through this with a positive outlook, it could help us because it's a big reminder of who we need to be, how we need to play, and why we were good when we were winning games.
Maria.
Quick question about Jordan Horston. She keeps making these midseason watch lists and, final 10 shooting guard players. I know how much she does for the team, but if you could talk a little bit about Jordan Horston as a teammate. Sometimes when you have a star player who's getting all that attention, a player may not handle it well, or the team, but it seems like Jordan has kept it all in perspective. Is that a correct assessment?
Jordan's a really good teammate. She is selfless. She's humble. She loves her teammates. She wants to win. And I think those qualities about her, she has a genuine big heart. I think those qualities help when she's getting attention. She can brush it off. She just wants to win, and that's easy to say. A lot of people say that, I just want to win. I'm not interested in that. But it's true. It really is true. She just wants to win. And I think the competitive spirit that she's had all season has been infectious or contagious. And I think, really proud of her for hanging in there.
Cora, then Jack.
It feels like kind of part of the season where the team, decides to show what kind of team they really are. For you as a coach, what are specific things you kind of look for in them in regards to their response and practice and how they are, just carrying themselves in this space?
Yeah. Part of it's body language. Part of it is, are they saying the right things? Are they communicating together? An air of confidence when they step out on the court. Are they making hustle plays? Are we just being tough and gritty? Are we working hard? It's it's not the shooting percentage. It's not how you guard this. It's all the other stuff. Because once you get all the other stuff, you start playing with confidence, and then everything else falls in line. So for us, just dang toughness, right? That's what we want to see.
Yeah, Coach. And just what are your general thoughts on what Emily and Caroline have been able to bring to the court since Kian's injury?
Well, I think their minutes have been thus far situational. They bring some positives to the court. I think each player brings something different. Emily helps us because she can come in and still give us give us size in the paint and presence in that paint. And I think Caroline comes in. She works really hard. Notice this obviously more in practice. She's been posting up very strong, and it's given us an offensive presence in the paint. And so, as they keep working, on their game, it may be each game, maybe you see where one of them might could give you some minutes, or maybe both of them. And but we've got to find ways for them to keep getting better, in practice, and then hopefully gaining more meaningful minutes in the games.
Maria, then we'll finish with Cora.
Coach, you mentioned toughness, and I know both are playing behind people and they're freshmen and they got a lot to learn, and it's not easy to figure out both ends of the court. But Kaya Wynn and Caroline Strickland seem like they have a little bit of toughness sort of in their DNA. Are those two players you'd like to get a little bit more out of in February?
Yeah, I think for us, one of the things, Kaya was out there with a little bit right when we felt like we were ready to get her maybe some more minutes, and then she's out for a bit. So we got to get her back where she's feeling good, and obviously we're at practice every day. We're seeing everyone's strengths and where they can improve. And then Caroline, she's just got a resilience about her. And I've said that numerous times, and she's just going to try. She's going to give you everything she's got every time she's out there. And the same with Kaya. I think, you don't worry about their effort for sure, but they're still working through, I think, a little bit of the speed of the game at this level. And, we're continuing to challenge them every day in practice. One thing that we've always said, players that don't get a lot of minutes, it's sometimes deflating. I get that. And it's hard to stay motivated. I do believe those two have stayed motivated. And to me, you never know when your number is going to be called. You never know when that opportunity is going to be there, because there's so many ebbs and flows to the game, foul trouble, injuries, the way the game is going, the way the game's being played. So we ask them to be ready. You absolutely have to be ready. That may or may not equate to minutes, but you've got to be ready, because at some point it is going to matter, and it is going to be important that we get good minutes from our bench.
Easy, quick follow-up question. How much would a win mean and boost this team on Thursday?
Oh, we desperately need a win right now. I think for morale's sake, and it's not a given, that's for sure. That. So you've got to perform to get it. But regardless, we need to. What I'd like to see, regardless of the end result, I'd like to see us play a certain way. I really do believe that's more important right now, how we play. And I think as we take the court, we can't be overwhelmed by a sheer need to win. Just go out and play each possession. Be great this possession. And once you start doing that, once you start simplifying it, once you really start taking it one possession at a time, I know it's cliche, but it's true. It makes the end results better. And right now we can't be looking big picture. It is, what are we going to do when that ball tips, how well are we going to play on each end of the court?
We'll finish up with Cora. You there, Cora? All right, we'll go to Karthik.
I'm glad I got to ask a question because it's a little more lighthearted one. So I saw that video that you made with Coach Barnes about getting the tickets sold, and at the end he said, "Keep pushing P." Did you know he was going to say that? Do you know what that means?
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not young and hip like everyone else. So that I'll have to go ask our players what that means.
All right.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.